your bad, so, oh yeah. I fell in love with the road, now I fell in love with your waistline. Up close and personal, like you want to FaceTime. I feel in your energy, like this baseline. Kinda shy, but the lick off your breathe. Broke out and girl, come out to read. So take the green light, spotlight, video light. It's your time to shine, darling. Just shine, darling. So take it for night and do it for spite. It's your time to shine, darling. Every man balling, woman, you're spectacular.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:08, soon to be 8:09 here in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Ari, and with me is Christal and Doc Thompson this morning, and we are Activated Mornings. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Morning, Doc. How are you? Welcome again.
Okay, yes, that cadence, starting off high and then going a little bit more sober and so forth. Yeah, interested. Good morning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes.
All right, welcome. So, still trying to sort out something here. By the way, the WhatsApp number is 457-9997. The number to call is also 457-9997. All right, so you can WhatsApp message, call, or send us a voice note. Make sure it's clean, sweet, to the point, and all these good stuff. All right. We did mention that we were going to touch on a story concerning the PSU president's call on the PM and CMO. So let's get to that.
All right, so I'm reading from Eyewitness News this morning. Under the headline, Vaccine Mandate is Most Wicked, Most Evil Law Ever Passed in SVG, PSU says. So the COVID-19 vaccine mandate that came into effect in late 2021, resulting in hundreds of public sector workers losing their jobs, is the most wicked and most evil piece of legislation that ever passed in the House of Parliament. President of the Public Service Union, Elroy Boucher, made the assertion as he called on Prime Minister Gonzalez and government and the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Simone Keyser-Beach, to seek forgiveness for the law. Boucher said that Gonzalez has a way of asking people for forgiveness at certain times and commended the leader for this. He noted at a union press conference in Kingston on Tuesday that a public health emergency is still in effect in St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1 year after the WHO declared over the pandemic that resulted in the emergency. He said it's hard to think of what reason that they would have had to keep their public health emergencies going when it is based on the pandemic. There is no longer any pandemic, Boucher said. He said that following the WHO declaration, the Minister of Health in SVG, Sinclair Jimmy Prince, also declared that the pandemic was over. To certain categories of workers, the mandate on them to be vaccinated has been discontinued, Boucher said. The mandate is still in place for healthcare workers, Boucher, however, noted. What reason would the government have to still have us under the public health emergency for COVID-19? He said, adding that he no longer hears people talking about COVID-19. So, Doc, you're both a former minister and a health professional. What are your opinions on this?
Well, just commenting on someone's opinion in terms of how informed it is, I think it's something that I really have to read and study and have a better understanding. Issues of illnesses. Do you know, Ari, there's a HIV pandemic? Now, how much we talk about it, we don't talk about it as such. A pandemic basically in terms of the emergency issues being declared at UN. And so, yes, the special committee would have withdrawn that, but there's still a lot of cases and so forth. There's still issues, and so one has to be safeguarded. I don't talk about COVID. I talk about now other things. There's still a lot of people who on social media to talk about COVID as well. It should never have happened. It was man-made. It was caused by the Russian government, the American government, the Chinese government. Well, a whole set of stuff, a whole set of conspiracy theories out there, and people buy into these sort of things. But speaking specifically on the issue of whether the emergency should be officially removed, I'm not sure what the Ministry of Health has on this particular issue. I know that there's a matter before the court. I know that this is a matter that is on appeal, and that who knows when this is going to come back. Something premature in terms of dealing with that court matter. Maybe the reason why nothing has actually been done, but I'm not sure about that. But when something is before the court and something is sub judice, as they say, and the details of waiting for the appeals court to basically come back on this, it would be premature for one party to act. And so I'm sure that whatever the result of the appeal, that within the heart and the mind of the Prime Minister, I know there's always going to be that element of forgiveness that's always there. But whether it should take place unilaterally at this particular point in time, I'm not really sure. And Mr. Boucher has called for this before at several times. I expect that it will get due consideration, but I'm not necessarily sure that unilaterally, as the court case and the appeal is taking place, that you will see something like that done.
Yeah, but I think the question that a lot of institutions want answered is, was the mandate necessary?
But of course.
Why do you believe
that? Now, I happen to, as you know, be a specialist in infectious diseases. We got training in public health and masters in public health. And I was one of the advisors to the government, not on this particular issue, but more on the clinical side. And St. Vincent took a kind of nuanced approach to COVID in that we kept the country relatively open, open in the sense that from an economic point of view, we didn't shut things down. We didn't close down. The airport was still open until La Soufrière erupted. You know what I mean? And a lot of things were done and managed in a particular way. But because of the ongoing propaganda externally, and so the percentage of individuals who took the vaccine was low with respect to other islands in the Caribbean.
What exactly was the propaganda that you're speaking about?
No, that I remember after taking the vaccine myself, I was walking up the road and somebody came and slapped me on my butt. They wanted to feel if I was growing a tail.
That type.
And the whole genetic, the whole genetic change in DNA, sterilized women, sterilized men, this, that. There were lots of things, and a tremendous amount of effort was made so as to calm this. But my experience and history has told us that government trying to encourage persons to go and do things in a particular way, right, from a health point of view, to not eat sugar, to not eat so much salt, to eat the right type of, and to exercise, that you don't achieve this as a doctor telling somebody to stop smoking tobacco because it will have it works to some degree, but often it doesn't.
Let's take a pen and calls coming through. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Let me say welcome back to Dr. Gerald Thompson. I have to jump in on this one very quick, very, very quick. And let me ask you a question, Dr. Thompson.
Yeah.
Straight to your face. Would you say that with the vaccines that we were mandated to take proved to be a positive result for Vincentian, especially those who took
Dave, I want to ask you a question. Were you mandated to take?
I'm a doctor, you're not a doctor, but go ahead.
No, but I'm asking you,
you,
as somebody who has, we all know, may have someone, you've expressed it before, someone on the line country, were you mandated to take the vaccine? Were you mandated? When you asked the question, we were mandated. No, as Mr. Boucher said, there were certain categories of emergency workers based on their exposure to other people, the public, immigration officers, policemen, and so forth, who basically would have found themselves interacting with other people. And if they had caught COVID, could spread it to other persons. So it's not just themselves, but the ability to spread it to someone else was an important factor. So in the case, I'm just asking you, I'm asking you, were you mandated to take the vaccine?
Well, Dave Roberts has an independent mind.
No, you laugh, but you ain't gonna answer the question. I know that.
You know?
Yeah.
I have an independent mind. Nobody could force me to do anything.
But I know you won't answer the question. You still won't answer the question.
What do you mean?
The question is, Dave, were you mandated? That's the question.
Yes, I hear that. No, I was not mandated.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Don't beat around the bush and go wrong. Dave has a independent mind.
I wasn't mandated. I was just giving you reasons why Dave Roberts would not have taken that.
Yes.
Now, you are one who are behind me to take the vaccine because I'm a diabetic and you thought it was the best thing.
Yes.
For me to do.
Yes.
But with all your credentials, if I can put it that way, all your medical, superiority and all of that, you couldn't convince me to take the vaccine. If I had taken the vaccine, I would have died already.
But Dave, that's the point I was making. I am making the case that in the same way, diabetics with sugar, the amount of diabetics I've talked to and said, please cut down on your sugar. Have they done so? No. The hypertensive, salt, please. Have they done so? No. Or in school, maths, English, teaching people how to. They don't always comply. Oh, sorry.
You're taking me off track now.
I thought I was answering your question. I thought you asked Dr. Thompson for a question. Sorry, my apologies.
You got all the time. You could answer this question anytime you choose to.
Yes.
I am just but I know, listening to you, you have to listen to people too. I asked you a question at the beginning, if you think it was a successful exercise for those who took it and so on. And,
but David, it was.
How long will we have to, those of us who took it, how long will we have to,
Dave, do you know?
Without a proper answer.
Dave, I don't know why we deny the fact that there were over 6.5 million people who died. Today, there are people living with long COVID, something called long COVID.
People, you're talking about people who died after they took the vaccine, right?
No, Dave, people who died because of the virus.
I want to know how much people, because
Dave, you're listening to a whole set of propaganda, people who died because they took the vaccine. Oh, God. Dave, I'm not saying that there were persons and so forth who basically had effects and side effects and so forth, but I'm saying to you that there were people, if faced with the vaccine and the virus was the bad guy. The virus wasn't your friend. The virus wasn't your buddy.
I know all of that, but to end, would you say that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with all what they did, and I hope Vincent to listen to your answer, with all what they did, would you say that the government did the best thing for the people of St. Vincent and the
I'll tell you
Grenadines?
something. When you look at countries around, when you look at countries around the world, when you look at countries around the world, England, America, the Biden administration, the Australian, the district, any kind of governments and so forth, governments throughout the Caribbean, a number of governments basically took that approach and basically had various levels. Ours was not that so intense as other countries in terms of pushing that particular line. Now, there were others who advocated taking ivermectin or taking some other type of drug at the same time, but I'm not sure. Those things clearly did not work. The vaccination really and truly helped. And people will in the aftermath say, well, Pfizer made so much money and this, that, and so forth. But the bottom line, we don't talk about the pandemic in the same way anymore. It's come and gone. That's the point.
Christal, what are your thoughts?
A call's coming through. Let's take it first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, madam. Good morning to the gentleman there. A question for Dr. Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Does he consider it reasonable for the people who were put off the job with respect to COVID control? Now that the COVID is not a threat to the society, is it still reasonable to have them at home without a job and yes, is it fair to them and their families?
Caller, I really sympathize with all these individuals. And
no, but the point I'm making.
I'm going to answer your question. I think it's very, very sad that has happened. And as you know, it's a matter before the court. It is sub judice.
No, but here, the authorities could act on the basis of the evidence before them now.
On the evidence, but I'll tell you something. I listened.
But before the court, why just go through this drill when you know it is unreasonable?
No, but listen.
And it is hard.
I listened.
And it is.
I listened very carefully to lawyer Astafan present the case as regards the issues and why. And that was an extensive presentation that he made that was sound. And basically, I think it will possibly have an effect with respect to the appeal. But I think that what is being asked, forget about that particular appeal and pull the plug on this. And
exactly.
Basically, unfortunately, the reasons that are being presented is that the vaccines don't work. None of them. You understand? And so the threat,
vaccine,
in terms of vaccine,
the
things that are being presented is not just in relation to the COVID vaccine, but also that vaccines in general don't work. I mean, in the United States, there's a particular person who's running for president.
That's not quite relevant to the agony the people are going to,
I understand.
That is not the point. The pressure which the people going through now.
Yes, I understand that. I really sympathize with them too.
Well, and two, I am hoping that as a man from the parish of St. David, you would use your influence to convince the people, the authorities that they're going down the wrong road.
Let me tell you something. I'll tell you something. Ari is from urban Kittels. You understand? I am from St. David. I'm a Chateaubriand person, but that doesn't affect an appeal in any way and so forth to me. I think that on the basis, I mean, you're from Chomoka, and the point I'm making there is that there is something before the courts, and I think what Boucher is asking for is that pull the plug on the appeal. Do not basically go ahead with that.
Exactly. That's a reasonable position.
But guess what? The appeal is
happened.
already in. We are waiting for the results. And whether Boucher has spoken a week before the results come in, a month before the results come in, 2 months before the results come in, it may be premature with respect to the results. But I do understand that for the individuals who are affected, you know, I really do sympathize with them.
Yeah,
I understand the struggles that they go through.
But hey, now, let me just make this point.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister and his party seem to have
your party.
My party, my father was a member of the party, and I have a duty to see that it is honorably used. The Labour Party, I don't think the Labour Party...
Your father was a good man, you know, I'll tell you something.
Yes, and a conscientious person who looked out for the interests of the people.
Yes.
And we had expected our leaders of our district would stand up for the people.
He was one of my heroes.
But don't take me out. Let me just make this point, please.
Yeah.
The agony that is being meted out to the school teachers and the nurses and the policemen is similar, is a relationship, it's in harmony with the agony that Marcus Freitas has been put under. The court ruled that he deserves to be paid more. And up to now, we're not paying him. Why? Why is that? Because why is this so?
I understand your point. You know.
Well, so this is what I'm saying.
I understand
so this is in harmony. What the Prime Minister is doing in relation harmony.
Yes, Harry.
And advise him. Those of us who have any influence with him should advise him that he's going down the wrong road. Because listener, this has the potential to cause serious disruption, social disruption in our land. Okay. How you can have a person working for 30 years, giving conscientious service day and night, and then because she hasn't made up her mind yet to take the vaccine, you tell her if she makes it by Saturday, no work for her, not only no work, the interest of her years of service gone down the drain. A couple of weeks before, the Prime Minister himself was ridiculing the effort. Tell me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take away from your point, but we have to take a break right now. So if you don't mind calling back after the code segment, yes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. So it is 8:30. We have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with quotes this morning.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Did you know? Have you used them? Vertis, Medushi, Lilies. These are among the best bathroom tissue products available any place. Excellent quality, larger sheet sizes, and more sheets per roll. Check them out and compare with others. And guess what? Guess what? These are produced right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I tell you, Vinci's have class. Yes, real class as always. Let's keep our standards high. Buy Vertis, Medushi, and Lilies. Made by St. Vincent Containers.
Alan Smith and Family Bakery, the worldwide name for all your bakery needs. Specializing in wedding cakes, birthday cakes, the world famous hard dough and light dough, multi-grain by special order, and now available baguette bread at all your leading supermarket outlets. And for that sweet tooth, currant rolls, jam buns, homemade sweet bread, guava and apple tarts, butter and oatmeal cookies. And for your savory needs, beef and chicken patties. Alan Smith and Family Bakery. Supplies bread to the Grenadines, Leeward and Windward side of the island. Contact us at Alan Smith Family Bakery at gmail.com. Call us 457-8317, 457-8550, or 533-0943. Located along the main road in Camden Park Industrial Estate, we are the healthy choice. All our products are made with 0 grams trans fat ingredients. Quality is our passion. We open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Sundays and public holidays, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you for your patronage over the years and for your continued support in the years ahead.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station.
It seems to be.
Go ahead.
It's,
Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
What?
6. What a shot. You big it. Out of the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Buy your tickets now from tickets.t20worldcup.com.
Are you ready for the Untold Calypso tent? Yeah, man, we're heading to Russell's Auditorium for the opening on Thursday, May 30th, and for the second show, Thursday, June 6th, and for the preliminaries, Thursday, June 13th. The vibes is big, the energy is big, and of course, the cast is big. Mashi, Mansik, Zion I, Da Vinci, Mayamo, Patches, Koja, Abija, Azara, I, Exposer, Marvo, Roots Garden, Reality, Ninja, and the newcomers, Diamond and Kerry. So make sure for Thursday, May 30th, June 6th, and June 13th, you're getting ready to head to Russell's Auditorium for Untold Calypso 10. See you there.
Untold take over. We make the area. Hello, Carnival. Nice to see you again.
Hey people, this is Ezra the Fun Machine and I'm calling all revelers, carnivalists and bacchanalists. Let me tell you, take a loan of $3,000 or more for your costume and pay only $340 per month with God's ready cash. Plus, you get to enter to win your loan back. That's right! Pay $0 down and nothing for the first 30 days. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, pay slip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Scott Already Cash location today or contact your Carnival band for more details. Experience Carnival 2024 with God's Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:35, and it's about that time where we speak with Coach Ready Cash this morning, and here they are right on time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you and welcome?
I'm good. You, how are you doing?
Good for the time being, thank you.
Okay then. So we're here to talk cash with Coach Ready Cash this morning. Right, so this is me, Coach Colin. Right, so we have Coach Ready Cash at the best institution, as you guys should know now, when it comes to providing cash loans to the general public, the persons of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether you self-employed, whether you have an employer, whether you're retired, you can come in and get a cash easily the same way, right? So when you come in, what you would need to provide is proof of identification, proof of address, and proof of income, just as simple as that. So you need to provide 2 forms of valid identification. You just need to provide something to show where you live in, so that could be in the form of a recent utility bill or bank statement, or if the bill is nothing in your name. And you can also bring in a job letter, recent job letter, and your most recent pay slip as well. And that is it, just as simple as that. Right? You can come in, and what we do, we give you the loan in less than 24 hours. So once you come in and you speak to a salesperson, then you can be getting your loan the same day that you came in. Right? Nice, simple, easy. Right? And for first-time customers, if this is your first time borrowing with us, you can get up to $4,000. If not, you can get up to $20,000. So you just have to bring your documents, same documents that I mentioned before, and then we'll be able to do our calculations and see how much you'll be eligible for. And we have a loan running. Also, we have a loan called a payday loan. So that is a loan where you can get up to $1,000 interest free, right? So that is $1,000 interest free loan, and you just need to bring the same documents that we mentioned before, and you can bring those in, and then after the payday loan, and then we'll be able to hook you up with that as well. So interest free at up to $1,000, okay? And for our self-employed person, the persons who own their own businesses, it could even be whether you're into the farming industry as well, because we have an agricultural loan as part of our business now. So whether you're into farming, fishing, or agri processing, we have a loan for you as well. That is in conjunction with the business loan customers, and for that loan you can get up to $27,000, right? So $27,000. So you bring in your documents, your registrations, your bank statements, your receipts, if you keep receipts, all of those things, all those good stuff. You just bring them in and ask for our business loans officer, Mrs. Mapp, and she'll be able to assist in that department. So we have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff, because we have this promotion running as well for, we're in the carnival season, so we have a promotion running for that. And for persons taking out from $3,000 to $10,000, you can win back your money. So the same amount of money that you borrowed us, then you'll be eligible to win it back. If you come in and, one lucky customer will be eligible to win back the loan of up to $10,000. So that's on the promotions we have running currently, right? And you remember to shop at the Coats main store for a chance to win a prize for your dad for Father's Day. Should mention that as well. We know Father's Day is coming up. Father's Day is a very important holiday. Let's not forget about the fathers. So for customers who shop at the main store, you'll get a chance to win a gift for your dad this coming Father's Day.
Nice.
Right?
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
And I know a lot of persons maybe wondering what's the number to call, right? Because you can call 456-1425, 456-1425, extensions 2120, 2120, up to 2124, right? But if you want to reach us directly, you can call 494-5380, 494-5380. You'll be able to reach us easier there, that is quicker. And if you just want to pass in here in the Kingston area and you just want to pass in to find out more information and to speak with us directly, then we are located opposite the General Post Office. We open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and opposite the General Post Office. Very easy to find. You can just walk in, no appointments needed. Walk in, see you want to know the cash loan, or if you have the documents ready, then you can start as well. And remember, it only takes 24 hours to get your loan approved. So very easy to find. The number to call is 494-5380, 494-5380, so you can come and check us out between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays.
All right, awesome. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
I'd just like to go over the promotions that we have running. So remember, Father's Day is coming up. So shop at the Coats main store on this street to get a gift for Dad this coming Father's Day. And also, the promotion that we have running currently is one lucky customer will get a chance to win back the loan of up to $10,000 when they come in and take out a loan with us. Right? So just come in for these carnival season, this runs until the end. So come in, you'll get a chance to win back your loan of up to $10,000 with us. And the number to call is 494-5380. 494-5380. Very easy to find. Come in, check us out, and no appointments are needed. So it's very easy.
All right, awesome. All right, so thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thanks. Take care.
All right, and that was Coats Ready Cash. Remember to check them out today.
Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Get 30% off frames and lenses, plus free eye test for all throughout Healthy Vision Month. Get that frame today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Book your free eye examination appointment online today on www.quartzoptical.com. Your sight is our mission. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Special conditions apply.
First National Bank says get the home you've always wanted with zero down. That's right, as we celebrate more than 85 years of being here for you as the first indigenous bank, we're giving 85 individuals 100% financing to achieve their dream of home ownership. This is possibly the most important decision you'll ever make. 100% financing for your dream home. Call or come into First National Bank today and ask about our zero down payment, 100% financing for mortgages. First National Bank, here for you.
The St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited VINLAC wants you to stay connected and responsibly manage your bills. When making your bill payments, remember to pay in full any balance brought forward, that is, arrears from previous bills, and any portion of the total current charges which remains unpaid after the due date on the present bill. The due date represents a 30-day credit payment term for the total current charges and varies based on your service location. Please note that accounts with a balance brought forward and unpaid portions of the total current charges after the due date on the present bill are subject to disconnection without prior notice. If you are disconnected, your outstanding balance and reconnection fee must be paid before you can be reconnected. Reconnection cannot be guaranteed before 48 hours. Be sure to visit the inquiry section at VINLAC's corporate headquarters in Kingstown before making payments for reconnection of supply. Remember to observe the due date to manage your bill payments wisely. This is a message from VINLAC.
Boy, I swear you getting crashing on. Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of.
Well, focus. Join the vibes for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in the Party Stand. Enjoy live performances by top artists, the hottest DJs, and so much more. Get your tickets today from Korea City Store, Kingstown. ICC Men's T20 World Cup, the vibes in the Party Stand. It's gonna be out of this world. Get your tickets now.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:46 in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Arian with me. We have Christal and Doc Thompson this morning. We are Activated Mornings, and we're talking all things vaccination as the PSU president calls on PM and CMO to seek forgiveness for what he terms as a wicked mandate, referring to the COVID-19 21.
First of all, that's not going to happen. You can ask until that kingdom come. That's not going to happen. Hindsight is 2020, and in this space, it is easier to say we could have, should have done XYZ instead of ABC, because we have lived through the errors and mistakes and successes in some part as well. We have to remember during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of panic from people. there were a lot of stories circulating. There were a lot of facts and there was fiction as well. And at some point, people were being, and I have to say, bombarded with so much news because it was literally 24/7 COVID, that after a while, I think we became, as consumers of the media, saturated with a bit too much information and we just didn't know who to believe. I think looking back, where we went wrong was there was like a complete turnaround as soon as the go ahead was given for vaccines. So prior to the vaccines becoming available, we had to do all these things to make sure that we were safe. Social distancing, not going here, then everywhere. You can't throw these parties. All these things were being done. Now I forgot the term for the attire, something PPs, like you're fully dressed once somebody has COVID-19, isolation, all these things. And then the complete turnaround to, oh, you know what? You can no longer come to work. That was a bit drastic. To also go ahead and tell somebody that we are not considering and I think people's fear was legitimate, whether it's based on what they consumed or their own personal beliefs, to tell somebody, oh, we're not even considering how you feel about this, that is quote unquote new. Although the mRNA technology and the COVID virus was about for a couple of years, it was new to a lot of us. We have never gone through a pandemic. I think that was ignored a bit too much. To make it mandatory, it was an unfortunate decision. However, I wasn't sitting in the seat of the CMO or the Prime Minister. I was not sitting in the seat of those who had the responsibility to carry out their duties and make certain decisions. So I don't know if there were other things there that were involved, that they found themselves in a corner where they had no choice but to. But from the consumer side, looking back, it was unfortunate. Another point to add to it, right? I'm forgetting point. Some people see it as a knee-jerk reaction to some sort of pressure. Something like that could probably be discussed. There's another point, but I have to look through my notes here. So maybe somebody else could continue or agree or disagree.
I do believe that what you're saying is correct. There was a lot of panic, there were a lot of news, there were a lot of misinformation, disinformation. But I do believe that through all of it, person should have remained or retained the right to have a choice as to whether or not they want to take this vaccine. Yeah. I did not want to take the vaccine. I did not feel like sufficient information was there. And people would argue, oh, you did not know what were in vaccines before. And that's the great thing about information. Now we have the chance to know. Yeah. Now we can research things ourselves. Yeah. Now we can see the opinions of professionals in doing things. Yeah. And one of the things that was mentioned earlier was what you had said about teaching and persons who are going to possibly infect other people. Yeah. And Taiwan is the prime example, and I have to use Taiwan because I was in Taiwan during COVID. Yeah. And the teachers, they were tested every day before they went into the classroom. Sometimes they tested twice a day. Yeah. Now, there are some teachers that decided, hey, this is very uncomfortable. I prefer to take the vaccine and avoid that problem. But yes, the main thing is they had the choice, and my issue is the mandate. Yes. Out of everything, I'm not saying that the vaccines didn't work. I'm not saying any of that. I am saying that person should have had the choice.
I'm glad you said, and that's why I brought it up. And you heard me ask Dave. Mm-hmm. Dave had the choice. The vast majority of people in St. Vincent had the choice. You had the choice. I was the second person to take the vaccine in St. Vincent. I had a choice. I took it. Now, on that point of emergence, in places like Taiwan, I was trying to find the figures, the percentage of the population took the vaccine was extremely high. The studies would have showed that populations with low levels of vaccination, whether it's to measles, mumps, rubella, or whatever the case may be, have a risk of catching those particular diseases. You know what I mean? And if you're not immune and so forth. And like that. So in Taiwan, there may not have been a need for any sort of emergency. You picked out teachers, but I believe there were other entities who basically were asked to go through. In many countries around the world, there were mandates. In the United States, there were mandates. All these court challenges in many ways. In Antigua, in many places, there were mandates. No, I am focusing on the ability of someone who has it to spread it.
Okay.
That was where the emergency thing, that's where the selective thing came, that population in general, you have a choice. But for those people who are in emergent situation, at the airport, the immigration officers who are dealing with visitors coming in, right? We're telling visitors to come in, and they have to have a card and so forth. When they reach to a customs officer or immigration officer, the person could be infected.
Did the vaccine make you immune?
No, this is the fundamental point. Because we said it is not 100%, people thought that saying it's not 100% meant it was zero. So that for a lot of people, it did make them immune. But did it make everyone who received the vaccine immune? No. Now, I've said this many times before. COVID is a very funny disease. I know we don't have the time. There were 5 illnesses in this world that go through what's called a cytokine storm. Ari, your immune system, whether it's the plague, whether it's a form of dengue, not all forms of dengue, but that particular form of dengue, a couple of other diseases, your immune system, when it interacts with the virus, it says, what? It throws everything. It throws all its tools, sticks, stones, bullets, bombs, bazookas. And because it does that, this is what we call cytokine storm, it releases everything. There's like ricochet, friendly fire inside your body. And it can cause such a big problem inside your body. Other illnesses don't necessarily do that. In other words, you could have taken all the turmeric and ginger. You could be fit and great exercise. Your immune system could be great. But if you are one of those entities whose immune system is going to overreact to the virus and throw everything at it, trying to use a bomb to kill a fly, so to speak, you could end up causing it. Sadly, people with underlying illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, recovering kidney illnesses, that reaction can throw them overboard. Now, it's difficult to explain. Every time I start talking about cytokine storm, I lose people. And I know I lost a lot of people here today. You know what I mean? But the point I am making is that it isn't that the vaccine made everybody immune, 100% of the people who get it. It was always 70%, 60%, 80%, depending on the vaccine. And there would also have been some side effect, albeit small, but over 7 million deaths occurred. Deaths from the vaccine itself, minimal. I don't have a figure and so forth, but studies and so forth of people who died from crossing a road, right? But they got the vaccine. Doesn't mean that it's the vaccine that caused them to get knocked down in the road.
I think at this point,
we went through a lot of those type of debates and so forth. And you or other person may be convinced that the vaccine didn't work. Period. Zero.
I didn't say that.
It didn't work 100%. So therefore, it didn't work for nobody.
I didn't say that.
Well, if it worked for 70%, 80% of people, then you could see that it was good, at least for 70%.
All right. So we're taking a call now. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good
Welcome.
morning.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning. To the panel, good morning to each and every one of you. I'm here listening to your topic this morning. Very interesting topic, But I was here just to add, my 2 cents where all of this is concerned, where vaccination mandate is concerned. Now, here in North America, at some workplaces, it was mandated. You either take it and keep your job, or if you refuse, you have no job. And what is most interesting is this, and please, and you can note this down because I'm speaking facts here. Even nurses who were working from home, or persons who was working from home at the time, were still mandated to take the vaccine. And they verbalize, well, we are not out there in the public, why should we take it? Well, if you want to keep your job, you have to take the vaccine. And they had a choice. They either take it and keep their job, or refuse to take it and lose their job. Same with teachers. And, when I hear, this big hooray about teachers being mandated and thrown out of jobs, I mean, look, where I live right across from a school. And the amount of teachers who had decided not to take it, but consider their family and the job that they have, the only job that they had no choice but to take it. So my point is this: St. Vincent and the Grenadines was not the only country that mandated vaccine. And why? We all know, it is for the safety of the people. Because with all of what was going on, we didn't know what was this vaccine was all about. We didn't know, who was at risk, who was not at risk. We didn't know who would have died from who would not die. But because of this vaccine, you know what? It may not cure the virus 100%, but this is what we have now to present to you for your safeguard. It may work as well as it may not work, but this is what we have, and we're asking you that you take this vaccine.
So if you're saying, right, it may or it may not work, why it is that it's being mandated?
For emergency workers. For emergency workers.
Yeah, emergency workers, people at the airport, at Pearson Airport and other small airports around, and North America. Everyone, you ask them, you take the vaccine. Look, get this. I was supposed to fly home within that period, okay? And after finish going through the process of booking my flight, the last question that was asked of me, sir, have you taken your vaccine? I says, not yet. Next week, I'm booked for next week. Well, if it's next week, it's not going to work because it's going to be too late for you to take the vaccine to fly in the aircraft. And I had to just reverse everything. I couldn't come because they said if you have not taken the vaccine, you were not allowed to board the aircraft.
And you
that was told to me.
And you needed to have taken it 2 weeks before you actually traveled.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what was told to me. So when all this thing about the vaccine thing and the government is and the government that, it's not St. Vincent alone. And that's why I says we have the information out there that everyone can see, but some people just choose to take a path that's, I don't know.
And caller, see, that's the point. This is this wicked act and so forth, as if there was some evil, because some people who are saying that come from a standpoint that the vaccine had zero effect. It didn't work. Matter of fact, the zero was an evil thing being brought on top of the people. It was not.
Okay. Dr. Thompson, my question is this now. My question is this now, sir. Yeah. My question is this. What if the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has taken a negative effect or negative path on telling its citizens, do not take the vaccine, and people start dropping dead like flies? Then what would they say?
There would have been people who would have been able to sue the government because they did
but
not
the teachers
provide
sued and was successful. So it's opposing what you're saying right now.
And therefore, thank you very much, Ari. So, Ari, thank you very much, Ari. And there is an appeal. It's still within the court system. And basically, we will wait the results. Whatever the results come out, the results.
I would be surprised if the government win that appeal.
Okay, but I know, but I don't have a crystal ball. It's sub judice. I can't say.
I can't say things as fact. I say I would be surprised.
Right, I know. Well, I'll tell you something. Donald Trump. With Donald Trump get an appeal, the Supreme Court coming because you live in New York, right? Is Donald Trump gonna get through and so forth with all these things? I don't know.
All right.
He might do.
Okay, I mean, I don't know, but Ari, for the sake of conversation, if I was to ask you now at your job currently, okay, and you were told, look, here,
I don't know the
you have a choice, sir. You either take the vaccine and keep your job, or you refuse to take the vaccine.
Are we going fishing?
And lose a job.
Are we going
What would you
fishing?
do?
Let me tell you my personal
what is happening now?
I don't even have to talk theoretically. I refused to take the vaccine up until it was time for me to leave Taiwan. And the process to leave Taiwan to enter New York was so tedious. If you did not take the vaccine, I took the vaccine, and 1 week before I was to fly to New York announced that they no longer requiring you to take the vaccine.
Do you know, it's fascinating. But guess what? It's fascinating that during that time, St. Vincent had a relatively open policy. We were distinct in the Caribbean as keeping our economy open, not having locked things down. We basically measured things and allowed things. It was working to a degree. However, we started seeing surges in cases because people were traveling in. We controllable. Now, Aries asked, why didn't we do more testing? There was a time when the testing lab was so overwhelmed. Things were being backed up. Imagine sending in a test, and your test is not going to be done in a matter of 4 hours, but in a matter of 4 days. Or
you see that
2 weeks because of the amount of testing that needed to be done. Guess what? They hired more people. They got in more machines. But still, they couldn't deal with it. So we had to then start doing rapid tests in different places.
And it's the same thing here.
There are countries in the world where you had to pay for tests. You couldn't get the test done. This was a global pandemic, and we take the simplistic. Now, the last point I make, and I'll shut up, is that, Ari, we respect you for your choice, but don't think you, as an individual, could have a right to come and infect me.
Doc,
don't have a right to infect me or infect my child.
I took the vaccine, could I not have still contracted the disease?
For you would then have a 70% reduction charge.
Yes or no? Whether if there's a percentage or not, could I not have still contracted the disease?
Okay, we're still going back, spinning up in mud. 0 100%, Ari. You still ask me 0 100%.
Everybody pause, right? Pause. It is 9:04. Carl, I want to thank you for your contribution, but we gotta take a stop here.
Thank you, God.
Right? The conversation heated. We don't want to stop. I don't know if you guys want to continue at 9:20.
We could continue at
9:20.
In between, Ari and I gonna talk. Call us. In between, Ari and I gonna still
just
talk.
to say, we have had these same arguments over and over and
yes,
over.
we have.
Not to distract from the conversation today, which is, was it right for them to mandate?
No, the wicked mandate.
What it boils down to, was it right for them to mandate?
Is it right or wrong for the mandate?
Right.
The opinion that
was it right in America to do it? Was it right in Canada? Was it right in England? Was it right
it's not an attack on the government. Generally speaking, was it correct to mandate?
Yes,
no, we talk the PSU. The PSU is speaking directly for Vincentian. But we're discussing.
But when you talk about a wicked, the word wicked, that's the qualifying thing. The qualifying thing is that in all these countries, it was also wicked. You understand? And so that's the fundamental point, Ari. And we still go back to this old thing, whether it was 0 or 100%. You keep asking the question, did it guarantee me that taking it would stop me from getting it? The answer is no. But guess what?
And contracting it.
Contracting it. You have to, this is the point, you contract the disease. You contract the virus. The vaccine doesn't stop you from actually catching the virus. You understand? The vaccine basically stops you from catching the disease. You understand?
So it doesn't develop, your body does not respond in the way that it could have were you unvaccinated.
So it prevents you to spread as well?
You know something? it does reduce transmission, but it doesn't prevent transmission. It does not prevent transmission. If I have the virus on my hand and I have it on my hand and I shake your hand and I transfer it to you, if I have a towel and I blow my nose on it and I put it there and you come and take the towel there and I blew your nose and the virus still alive on that towel, you could still catch it as a formite. I can still spread it to you. However, if we all act in concert, you need a certain percentage of people with diseases to reduce the risk. You don't need everybody, but we needed 60, 70%.
And up to the we still reach there.
But guess what? Do you know the amount of cases of COVID? And do you know the amount of people with long COVID? It's one of the most underrated diseases. People with chronic fatigue, people with memory fog, people with loss of taste and smell. Imagine your car taste mango. Imagine your car smell lavender and those sort of things.
We have to
Go on. Let me stop.
Let me stop.
Sorry about that.